We have spoken to several people who have known him closely, like Mr. Raza Murad, who remembers him as a friend. Listen in. This is a day that we are remembering Dharmendra very fondly over here, remembering all the roles and movies that he had done. But over here, as one of perhaps a viewer, as a fan, how do you remember him, Mr. Murad?
It has been a...
Well, we have Mr. Taran Adarsh back with us, film critic. Mr. Adarsh, I was asking you that question, that we are remembering Dharmendra world over as a fan, as a viewer. How do you look at the kind of work that he has done in the industry?
A legend, absolutely, an icon. And I think, you know, I had the good fortune of interacting with him, being with him on outdoor shoots, interviewing him on several occasions, and he was a very down-to-earth person, very nice man. And I would say that, you know, and that niceness used to be seen across every person that he was working with also. I mean, I remember accompanying him, as I said, at outdoors of Anil Sharma's films, of various other films also, and of Arjun Ingurani's films. And the one thing that I realized was that, you know, he was so down to earth despite the stardom that he achieved. And I think he was someone who was who could be very accessible to one and all. You know, there are stars who, even in those days, I mean, now, of course, is a very different scenario, but even in those days, people used to be, a few stars would be very aloof and would stay away from people. But Dharamji was so affectionate, so down to earth, and so accessible to everyone. And that is one quality that stayed with me always. Whenever I used to meet him, it was very affectionate. He of course, he was very elder to me. And to use the term was, or in the past tense, is very difficult for Dharamji, because I think he will always live on. He is someone who would always be remembered through his work, through his movies, through his nature, the affection that he showed towards millions of people and fans across the globe. I think, and the legacy, the kind of work that he's done. And he's worked with different filmmakers, from Rishikesh Mukherjee Sahab to Ramesh Sippy to Pramod Chakravarti to Anil Sharma, of course, and to the generation, even now. I mean, on Christmas we have a release of a film called 21, where he's playing a very important character, which is produced by Dinesh Vijan and directed by Sriram Raghavan. And I think that speaks volumes of the kind of person he was.
Mr. Adarsh, how interesting is it for someone who has attained such a stardom, not only going to be remembered for the fantastic actor that he was, but for the person that he was? He never really shied away from expressing emotion. We've often seen him, how he would start tearing up and crying if he got very emotional. A family man to the heart. These are the other aspects of Dharmendra that people are often talking about. Have you been able to ever meet him in that capacity, knowing him personally?
Yes, I've met him so many times. I've interviewed him so many times. And I remember, as I said, I've accompanied for shootings to outdoor locations. And I remember one distinct incident that happened with me. We had accompanied, a select media had been invited to cover the shoot of a film called Sahelka, directed by Anil Sharma in Himachal Pradesh. And it was snowing at that particular area, snowing very heavily. And of course, we had all carried our warm clothes and woolen clothes and everything. But, when we reached the location, it was so freezing cold that, I was actually shivering. Dharamji saw it. He was giving a shot at that point of time. He saw it. And he came up to me after the shot got over and he said, "Hey, itni thand lag rahi hai." And he took out one jacket of his. He had a spare jacket and he said, "Ye pehan lo," immediately. And that stayed with me, because, not every person would do that. Not every actor would do that. Not any acquaintance would do that. But then that was the way Dharamji was, thinking from his heart, not from his mind. And then we, of course, sat down for question-answer sessions and talking about the film and talking about the industry in general. In those days, it was much different, and as compared to today, of course. But Dharamji will always remain one of my favorite people in the film industry.